What if the ancient wisdom traditions offered a perspective that could completely shift how you perceive the body's final return to the elements? There is a profound insight shared across cultures about the journey of our awareness after the breath has ceased. Before we explore these transformative understandings, I invite you to join this space of shared reflection so we can walk this path together. We are about to explore deep truths that could forever change how you see life's great transition. And I encourage you to share, if you feel comfortable, any personal moments of intuitive knowing that you have experienced. Today, I will share 3 profound insights about this process. First, what truly happens to your conscious self during this final release of the physical form. Second, why the timing of this release carries a deeper significance than we often consider. And third, the beautiful connection between this final act and the continuous journey of the soul. Here is a perspective that might resonate deeply with you. When a seeking mind once asked if the soul experiences suffering during this transformation, the answer was so foundational that it shifted the understanding for countless people. This knowledge doesn't come from one person's claims. It is a wisdom that has been preserved through quiet observation and deep contemplation over generations. It's found in the unwritten library of human consciousness itself. Think of it as tapping into a river of collective understanding, containing the essence of every journey that has ever been. It is from this space that we can explore questions about awareness, transition, and our eternal nature with clarity and peace. Let's go deeper into this. Contemplative teachings explain that our awareness does not feel the physical process of fire because consciousness has already begun its separation from the body. But then, a vital insight emerges that reshapes our view of this transition. There is a period of adjustment, a space between, where our consciousness maintains a gentle connection to the form it once inhabited. This phase, which might last for what we measure as a few days, is a time for the spirit to reorient itself to a new way of being. And here is the truly profound part. During this adjustment period, the awareness can sense what is happening to its former physical vessel, but not through physical pain. It is more like observing something from a great distance, a memory that is gently fading. Another question that often arises is whether this process of rapid transformation aids or hinders the spirit's path. The wisdom here is truly liberating. It suggests that this returning of the body to its core elements can actually help our awareness release its hold on the physical plane more swiftly than a slow return to the earth. The fire, in this view, is a powerful act of purification, a cleansing energy that assists the soul in its movement toward higher states of being. But here lies an insight that many overlook. The timing of this transformation holds immense importance. If the process occurs too soon after passing, within the first 3 days, the soul might not feel pain, but a sense of disorientation. This happens because the spirit is still in the middle of its gentle detachment from the body. Let me offer a story to illuminate this. A person once shared their deep unease after a loved one's sudden departure and immediate cremation. Their dreams were filled with a sense of their loved one being lost and unsettled. Through deep reflection, the understanding came that this soul was indeed disoriented because the transition happened before its awareness could fully acclimate to its new, formless state. This is especially true in cases of sudden passing, where the spirit needs more time to comprehend what has unfolded. But here is the message of hope. The loving thoughts and peaceful intentions of those left behind are a guiding light, helping the soul navigate this temporary confusion. In time, the unsettling dreams ceased, replaced by a sense of calm and profound peace. This brings us to an even more meaningful insight about this act and our soul's ongoing evolution. Ancient teachings have long suggested that how we honor the physical form after death can resonate with our journey forward, but not in a mechanical way. It is said that when this final release is chosen with conscious intent and right timing, it supports the soul in letting go of what are sometimes called earthly ties. These are not chains, but emotional and mental currents that can keep our focus bound to the physical world, rather than progressing on our path. This is where it becomes deeply relevant to your own spiritual growth. It's been asked if souls who choose this path of rapid transformation continue their journey differently. The answer is beautiful in its simplicity. The method itself doesn't shape the journey, but the consciousness and inner development of the person do. However, there is a remarkable insight about spiritual readiness. Souls who consciously embrace this path often show a natural detachment from the purely material world, which helps them journey more freely between their states of existence. And yet, there is an even deeper layer of understanding to be found. A timeless perspective explains that at the moment of passing, consciousness doesn't simply leave the body. Instead, it unfolds through several stages of realization. The act of transformation by fire is said to quicken this unfolding by removing the physical anchor that holds our focus to the material world. Let me share a simple breakdown of this journey. For understanding, it can dissolve the fear around it forever. The first stage is at the moment of transition itself, as the soul begins to untether from the body. This is described as awakening from a very vivid dream. The soul understands, in an instant, that it no longer needs the physical form to be. The second stage is a period of reflection. For a time, the soul reviews the journey it just completed. This is not a judgment, but a compassionate self-assessment, a chance to fully integrate the wisdom from its experiences. The third stage is a moment of choice. Here, the awareness decides its next step: to continue onward, or to remain close to the life it just knew, often due to strong attachments. This is where the act of swift transformation becomes so spiritually meaningful. The purifying element of fire acts as a symbolic passage, helping the soul move through the subsequent stages of release with greater ease and clarity. Here is something you might find truly beautiful about the soul's ability to connect. Does this process of transformation affect our ability to feel the presence of our loved ones? Contrary to some beliefs, it is taught that this process actually clarifies the connection, because it frees the spirit from the energetic pull of a decaying physical form. When the body is returned to the earth slowly, a part of the soul's energy can remain connected to that process of decomposition. This can create a kind of subtle interference. With a swift transformation, the soul's energy is set entirely free from the material, which can allow for a much clearer and more direct connection through your thoughts, your quiet moments, and your dreams. There's a story that perfectly illustrates this. A family chose this path for their beloved child, despite others' fears that it would diminish their connection. An intuitive wisdom later affirmed that this choice was in harmony with the child's own spirit, which wished to be free from physical ties to better support her family from a place of light. In the time that followed, the family felt her presence vividly, not as a memory of loss, but as a living, peaceful, and protective watchfulness. Now we arrive at the most profound insight about this process and our consciousness. Ancient traditions teach that this final act of release is a spiritual cleansing. It helps the soul let go of not just physical attachments, but also the emotional and mental habits that no longer serve its highest path. Imagine this. When you have outgrown a piece of clothing, you pass it on. This act helps the soul offer its physical garment back to the universe, retaining only the love and the lessons that will fuel its growth in the journeys to come. This is why this path was often suggested for those who lived lives dedicated to inner growth and service. It was understood that these souls were prepared to release their focus on physical form and continue their journey without delay. But what of the fear that so many feel about this process? A wise perspective addresses this directly. This fear typically arises from a deep misunderstanding of our true nature. We fear that this will somehow erase or harm the soul, but our awareness is entirely distinct from the physical body. A beautiful analogy is often used to explain this. The relationship between your soul and your body is like that of a person to their home. When you move out of your house, Your existence does not end simply because the building is later dismantled. In the same way, when the soul departs the body, it continues its existence, untouched by what happens to the physical shell. Here is something to reflect upon for your own journey. It is taught that those who cultivate a strong inner practice during their lives through meditation, prayer, or selfless action experience the great transition very differently. It is not seen as a trauma, but as a peaceful release. For these souls, the final return to the elements is a celebration, a graduation from physical life. What then is the best way to prepare for your own transition? The wisest guidance suggests that the true preparation is not to focus on death, but to live each day with compassion, awareness, and purpose. It is said that souls who cultivate their inner light and use it to help others find this passage to be an easy and natural one. No matter the path of the body's final return, there's also a fascinating perspective on the timing of our own departure. It is believed that on a deeper level, our souls have a voice in choosing when and how they will leave the physical body. This suggests that if you feel a calling toward this path of transformation, it may be your own soul's wisdom guiding you toward what will best serve your transition and your continued growth. This all connects to your spiritual evolution right now. Understanding this great transition isn't just about what comes later. It is about realizing the true nature of your awareness and how this understanding can help you live a more meaningful and fearless life today. Ancient teachings explain that souls who grasp the temporary nature of the physical experience are more likely to focus on cultivating their inner gifts and serving the whole. They are more likely to experience true peace because they are not held captive by the fear of endings. But the most vital insight of all is this: the choice between one path of final release and another is far less important than the consciousness and the heart behind that choice. What truly matters is that the decision is made from a place of love, of spiritual awareness, and of deep respect for the soul's continuous journey. It's also taught that when family members choose this path for a loved one with the intent of supporting their spirit, they actively contribute to that journey through the power of their focused love. This leads us to how these teachings can enrich your own practice today. By meditating on the nature of awareness and its journey beyond form, we can develop what some call spiritual vision. This is the ability to see the deeper, unseen dimensions of life, even while we are here. A simple practice is to spend a few moments each day contemplating the flowing, temporary nature of all physical things and the constant, eternal nature of consciousness. This practice, it is said, helps us live with profound inner peace. Here is something that can support you on your path right now. It is understood that souls who accept the continuity of life and awareness often find greater purpose in their current existence. They see that every moment, every connection, and every difficulty is a chance for spiritual expansion. This perspective helps us meet challenges with greater patience and wisdom. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by fleeting problems, we can see them as learning opportunities for our evolving soul. So how can you apply these profound understandings to your life today? First, you might take time in silence to contemplate the nature of your own consciousness and its relationship to your physical body. This practice nurtures a deeper knowing and a gentle release from worldly anxieties. Second, continue to send thoughts of love and peace to those who have passed on. This love is a real force that supports their journey and strengthens the unbreakable bond between you. Third, use this understanding to live more fully in each moment. When we truly know that our awareness is eternal, we can focus on what truly nourishes the spirit, our inner growth, and how we care for others. And finally, look at your own beliefs about life's transition. A fear of death can often prevent us from truly living with courage and purpose. The truth about consciousness and its journey, as offered by these timeless wisdom traditions, is a profound gift. It's the understanding that death is not a destination, but a doorway. This knowledge has the power to free you from fear, allowing you to live with a greater sense of purpose and calm. As we conclude this exploration, I wish to leave you with one final thought. The soul's journey is an endless river, and every experience within it, including the great transition, is a current that carries us toward deeper understanding and evolution. Whichever path is chosen for the body's final return, what matters most is the love, the spiritual understanding, and the unwavering trust in the soul's beautiful, ongoing voyage toward the light. If these ideas have opened a new door in your mind, I invite you to continue this exploration with us. Please share these perspectives with others who might find comfort and inspiration in them. Your act of sharing helps this quiet wisdom reach those who may need it. And feel welcome to share your own reflections in the space below. Hearing about your journey is a gift. Remember, we are timeless awareness living a temporary human experience, and death is simply the next step in our soul's eternal journey. Knowing this can transform not just how we face death, but how we choose to live every precious day.